So it's Raj Katecha at Dublin Web Summit 2013, here with Tim Walsh from KPMG in New York. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Fantastic. Now, KPMG is obviously one of those companies that has been working strategically with Web Summit for quite some time. Of course, notoriously wrote the first check that got this whole thing underway that's eventually led 3 years later to over 10,000 people passing through. What are your observations of coming to Web Summit this year?
Oh, I mean, how could you say anything but it's completely fantastic. I mean, we did something similar with them in New York just a few months ago called Start, and so this is a much bigger event, but similar to that. And so we're looking for this hopefully to grow to that sort of size in New York.
So I've been impressed since way back in 2008 when I was talking to Tudor Orr in the UK office. He was writing about digital tribes. What is it specifically about KPMG's DNA that makes you as a company and as a firm culturally want to stay close to the startup scene and the entrepreneurial scene?
Well, I mean, these companies are our future, right? If we don't grow with these companies and bring them in and nurture them, quite honestly, as they're growing, if we were to look forward 30 years into our business, we will have lost a tremendous opportunity in terms of some of the most incredibly successful companies that will be out there. So, I mean, we see this clearly as a way to grow our business, but on the other side, it also keeps us current and informed, to be quite honest. And our people absolutely love working with these companies. I mean, it's exciting for them as well.
And we've seen that strategy this year filter down to a product level, where you're here actively talking to startups and letting them know that there are specific tailored packages. What are some of the things that startups are looking for, and how does KPMG think about being one of the large four and consider themselves approachable by startups? I mean, is there any kind of fear from startups that, oh, maybe I don't want to go to KPMG?
Well, there's often that fear, but I can certainly tell you what we're doing in New York, which is we're incredibly close to the entrepreneurs. We spend a ton of time, to be quite honest, just working our way through the marketplace and creating relationships, and then we are clearly looking at those companies that we hope to be the successful companies, and we're essentially just putting a full court press on in terms of helping them out with anything that they need, from basic advice before we even engage with them, in terms of, do I have to file a tax return or something really quite basic, right on through to getting their taxes done, helping them perhaps find funding sources, helping them perhaps find banking partners, and then obviously that might progress on to the audit and eventually on to IPO readiness. And it just continues, to that. And hopefully we've got a fantastic public company exit.
So in wrapping up today, I don't know if you want to give me a Tim answer or a KPMG answer, let me know. But what are your big predictions for 2014 and parts of the tech market to watch? Because it's getting very broad and diversified, and I'm sure that everyone's taking a bet on a different part of the tech market.
Well, I can tell you my favorite, why don't I do that? My favorite part of the tech market in New York right now, which is all of the e-commerce companies that are centering themselves, either whether it be around fashion or what have you. You'll see Jen Hyman here from Rent the Runway, a client of ours who's just killing it. Bonobos, Birchbox, companies like Warby Parker, Chloe Isabel. I mean, that because I come from sort of that traditional consumer market background, I just love seeing it and how the technology is helping these companies just blow it out. It's really cool.
I've got to be honest, my hot part of the industry, I mean, I'm now starting to kind of fall in love with wearable technology, but for me, it's an e-commerce background as well, because I've been consulting in it, and of course, there've been so many massive paradigm shifts in terms of big data, open data, API integration, social. In terms of looking forward at e-commerce, do you see a lot more exponential growth for e-commerce taking a larger part of the retail dollar spend?
Without question. I mean, I think that as we see mobile technologies become faster and quicker and payment technologies getting better, you're going to see e-commerce being just a normal, huge way of shopping for most people, right? And taking on certainly a bigger piece of the pie.
I'm super interested in the lockers as well that are showing up in malls that Amazon are putting there, where you can ship your product right to a locker. Do you see? Have you heard of anything behind closed doors at KPMG that might be the next big thing that you can maybe share with us today?
Not the next big thing, I wouldn't say. I mean, the thing that I'm focused on right now as well is, and it's clearly going to be a huge component of the way things are looked at, is there's just too much data at the moment, certainly in e-commerce, and most of your traditional retailers don't know what to do with it. They don't even know how to, they only use pieces of it. So, for companies to get out there and get ahead of it and to be able to analyze that data for, those companies so that they can actually understand their customers' buying patterns with all of the data that's available it's going to be a huge opportunity, whoever gets it right.
Fantastic. Well, Tim, thank you for joining us today on MediaTechSocial.com.
You're welcome.
Wish you a safe journey back to New York. We are, of course, here at Dublin Web Summit 2013. Stay tuned to get more information on what KPMG is doing to help startups. Check out the link in the YouTube channel. Of course, subscribe or check out the links in the bottom of our blog. Thanks for tuning in to MediaTech Social. I'm Raj Kotecha. Have a great day.